Item number 2, to discuss the mayor's potential conflict in the Clico case and ability to sign a contract involving litigation and discuss potential violation of Article 7.2 of the Charter. If the mayor would like, he's more than welcome to come down. Let me give you the response that attached to the report. This agenda item has previously and exhaustively been addressed with affirmative showing that no such conflict exists. Accordingly, this item does not warrant further consideration. 2 city attorneys have met with Council President Myron Lawson on several occasions, the last being as recent as November 13th, at which time they explained in great detail that these continued allegations are erroneous and without merit. Contrary to the sound opinions of legal staff, Counsel Myron Lawson continues to lodge these personal attacks for political purposes. This is a matter that we've been hearing about for quite some time. We've been hearing with blogs, with radio, TV, and as a council, we have to address this. At this time, we don't have all the facts. We're in a fact-finding mode. As more evidence is collected, a determination will be made. At this time, an investigation is ongoing and nothing more. I want to read some to the council and read some items so we can be familiar with what's going on. According to the charter, which I have in this big black book, 7.02 prohibitions. I'm going to read as follows. Any city officer who has a substantial financial interest, direct or indirect, or by reason of ownership of stock in any corporation, in any contract with the city, or in the sale of any land, material, supplies or services to the city, or to a contractor supplying the city, shall make known that interest and shall be prohibited from voting or otherwise participating in his capacity as city officer or employee in the making of such sale or in the making of performance of such contract. Any city officer or employee who willfully conceals such a substantial financial interest or willfully violates the requirements of this section shall be guilty of malfeasance in office or position and shall forfeit his position or office. Violation of this section with the knowledge, express or implied, of the person or corporation contracting with or making sale to the city shall render the contract or sale voidable by the mayor or the city council. Understand this is simply allegations. Rule 1.7 of the Code of Professional Conduct, which all attorneys have to adhere to. A lawyer shall not represent a client if the representation involves a concurrent conflict of interest. A concurrent conflict of interest exists if the representation of one client will be directly adverse to another client. 2, there is a significant risk that the representation of one or more clients will be materially limited by the lawyer's responsibilities or to another client, a former client, or a third person, or by personal interest of a lawyer. Rule 1.11D, special conflicts of interest, former and current government employees and officers. A lawyer currently serving as a public officer or employee shall not participate in any manner in which the lawyer participated personally and substantially while in private practice or non-government employee, unless the appropriate agency gives its informed consent confirmed in writing. These are some of the facts that we know about this incident. Facts. On November 14, 2005, prior to becoming mayor, Jacques+Roy deposed Myron Lawson, Rick Ranson, and Roosevelt Johnson at the law office of Willis and Rosansky. At that time, Jacques+Roy was representing sam+sansing. Mr. Jacques+Roy was sworn in as mayor on December 5, 2006. At that time, he immediately became the chief executive officer of the city of Alexandria and became engulfed in the Clico litigation case. Also at this time, he was personally representing Mr. sam+sansing and later EMS, a vendor of the city of Alexandria, in regards to the lawsuit against the Clico Corporation. It is believed that Mayor Roy took a trip to Orlando, Florida sometime in January 2007 where he met with the city energy consultants R.W. Beck. At this time, he was representing the plaintiff's city of Alexandria in his capacity of mayor and sam+sansing as a private attorney. For reasons only Mayor Roy knows, he failed to withdraw from representing sam+sansing and EMS until February 2007, several months after being elected mayor. It is believed that Mayor Roy represented the plaintiff, sam+sansing, in the city of Alexandria at the same time, which is in violation of the rules of professional conduct. According to the City Charter, Section 2.08, Investigation City Charter, the City Council shall make investigations into the affairs into the city and the conduct of any city department, office, agency, and for this purpose may subpoena witnesses, administer oath, take testimony, and require production of evidence. Any person who fails or refuses to obey any lawful order of the council shall be guilty of malfeasance and shall be punished in such manner as the council shall be fixed. Malfeasance in office, Revised Statutes 14:134. Malfeasance in office is committed when any public officer or public employee shall intentionally perform any such duty in an unlawful manner. Whoever commits the crime of malfeasance in office shall be imprisoned for not more than 5 years with or without hard labor and should be fined no more than $5,000. These are serious allegations, and we ask that the mayor take these matters seriously. The mayor contends that he wants transparency. The city deserves transparency. This investigation centers around Mayor Roy, not CLECO, not EMS, not sam+sansing, or David Prue. The mayor has an open opportunity to address this issue, and we look forward to his proof and evidence. We'll await the mayor's response. I must add, these are simply allegations. There's no proof to it. We're going to fact find and determine what's going on. Comments from the council. Chair recognizes Mr. Roosevelt Johnson.
I'd just like to make a point of clarification for the media and for both sides on CLECO and the city of Alexandria. At that time, it was not decomposed due to the time I had on the council at that respective time on both sides. So I would like for that's the record to be clear on the CLECO side and the city of Alexandria side based on the case at that time. I think I had been on the council, I think, maybe only a few months or about a year. We just have to check the record, but if you can check the record, I was not,
But you were in fact deposed, is that correct?
No.
You were not deposed?
No, I didn't answer the question.
I was called.
I was called, but I was not. I just wanted to make sure that the record was clear.
I stand corrected on that. Let me correct that. Mr. Roosevelt was not deposed. Okay.
Who was deposed?
I think everybody. I think Mr. Rick Ranson, I don't think Harry was on at that time. Is that correct, Harry?
Correct.
You weren't. Mr. Hobbs, Mr. Myron, Mr. Chuck Fowler. I think and along with Charles Frederick Smith and Mr. Marshall.
Was the mayor in office when this deposition took place?
No. At the time, he was a private citizen representing Mr. sam+sansing. And then once he became mayor, then he immediately became involved in all aspects of litigation.
Mr. Larvadang?
Yes.
I was the attorney for the council members in the deposition that you're referring to.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to correct the record. At that time, and at no time to my knowledge, has Jacques+Roy ever represented EMS. That's Energy Management Services. Your declaration stated in two different areas that the declaration indicated that he was so engaged. At the time we participated in the deposition, it was not the CLECO case. It was a case that CLECO had brought against Mr. David Pugh, who was represented by Aaron Siebenacher at the deposition, and also EMS, his company, Mr. Pugh's company. Mr. Pugh testified in a similar deposition taken at the same time, that at no time did sam+sansing have an interest in EMS. CLECO had sued sam+sansing in a contract dispute. Mr. Roy, and I actually believe it was Mr. Chris Roy Jr. who was at the depositions. Mr. Roy was representing Mr. Sansing first to defend him in that suit. I believe eventually Mr. Sansing did bring a reconventional demand against CLECO, but it was not for anything to do with the city of Alexandria. It dealt with his employment and with certain allegations that CLECO made. During those depositions, Mr. Roy and Jacques+Roy were not representing the city of Alexandria.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a real quick. Mr. Jacques+Roy, he represents sam+sansing, is that correct?
I think actually Mr. Chris Roy Jr. represented sam+sansing, and Jacques+Roy was appearing with Mr. Roy's law.
Isn't there a document saying that he was enrolled into the case? And then,
In the
let
case
me
of
ask,
Clico versus David Pugh, I believe the caption's Clico versus,
thank you, I'm glad you're
Sam
part of that.
Sansing.
Mr. Myron Lawson,